The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
C.D. Lamb, touchdown.
Parsons has sacked it. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and Kyle Youmans.
It's a wonderful Wednesday edition of Talkin Cowboys presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company live from the Star in Frisco, Texas in the SWBC studios. Welcome in, everybody. We've got the full cast and crew ready to rock for you this morning.
That's right.
Patrik "No-C" Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Chris Beam in the back. I'm Kyle Youmans, and back in the building, Mr. Isaiah Stanback as well.
Black rifled up, baby. Let's get it done.
Same.
What time did you get in yesterday?
Big same.
Oh, not bad. Not bad. I got in about 5:30 p.m. Got straight to the film, because we have filming to do here, so I had to get it over to the producers. I spent about 2.5 hours, 3 hours last night. I was doing the Ring of Powers on Amazon Prime, as well as doing my film work, as well as doing the analyst work on the back end. So we had a lot of stuff going on yesterday.
You sound like Scott Hansen.
Lord of the Rings?
My brother, I am catching up. Yes.
Oh, okay.
The battle's just begun.
All right.
That's how I ended last night. I watched 2 episodes last night.
Don't get me started.
My wife was like, who is this for? I was like, well, I'm looking at all the analytics. And then I go from looking at the analytics to looking at the film to back to analytics.
Yeah.
And then I submit those to the production team. And then I can finish watching my Ring of Powers.
Yeah. Shouts to all my OG Game of Thrones stans who completely stopped and gave up on the final season of Game of Thrones and has decided not to participate in that garbage ever since.
Well, first of all, I was going to, because the first part of your statement was a fist bump, but then the rest of your statement, like, what?
We're talking Game of Thrones?
No, we were talking
about Ring of Powers,
Lord
man.
of the Ring of Power. That's the same show.
It's like a series.
It's the same show,
You're
dude.
a liar face.
They came out at the same time.
You, sir, are a liar
Stop.
face.
The
What you are.
disrespect.
All right, Lord of the Rings, I'm good. I'm good with that.
Shouts out.
Thank you.
Talkin Mafia. Talkin Mafia.
Nerds.
Pay him no mind. Damn right.
You're such nerds.
Damn right.
So good.
Damn right.
Gosh, I was watching basketball last night. NBA is back, so I was
watching
watching
basketball
some
as well.
hoops.
The regular
last
season's
night.
back now?
Regular season started last night.
You know what this is? This is like the best of both. Nerdy jocks.
Yeah, that's pretty much
That's
what it is.
basically what it is.
Yeah, we could vibe with both crews.
I saw LeBron talking to his son on the bench.
He
Talking about, "You
checked
ready?"
in with them.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I thought he
it was-
dunked and he looked at him.
Your boy Griffey Jr. was there last night watching it too
No way.
with his dad. Yeah,
Nice.
The kid.
Griffey Sr., Griffey
That's
Jr.
awesome.
The kid.
were there last night.
I actually
watching
had
it.
that
You were
conversation.
in L.A. You should have gone.
I was back. I was coming back.
I know, I'm
Yeah,
messing with
that
you.
sucks.
Which table did you sit at, Kyle? At the lunchroom. I'm like back in like high school. You know what I mean? Was it like the jock table? Or were you sitting at the cool kids table?
I sat with the sports nerds table actually.
Sports nerds.
Yeah,
That
like
checks
every
out.
day we talked about sports.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Like legit.
It's this
they're all
podcast.
they're still like to my day my best friends. Like
Yeah.
like I will
dope.
I love
talk to
that.
them every single day. Like I think half of them were in my wedding. Like I mean like
Oh,
it was
that's great.
yeah.
That's
All of them were at my wedding.
Lifers.
Yeah, they're like ride or dies.
Why you say it
That's
like
who I
that?
sat with was the ride or
Life-
dies.
You know what
Life-
else is dope?
I mean,
That Intuit
They're
layer.
about that life.
Like it's a prison.
We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. Let's get into some news and notes here on this Wednesday. The Cowboys back on the practice field today and starting their preparation. Hopefully not
man.
starting
There's a game
their
this week.
preparation. There is a game this week. No
There
more
is.
bye week combo,
Goodbye
guys.
to the bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye what?
Toodles.
Was that 11 straight weeks of nonstop football?
So here we are, news and notes on Tuesday. Obviously going to be a little bit thin a lot thin because the Cowboys practice tomorrow and Mike McCarthy won't speak today until 11:30. But based off what we know, Micah Parsons is still up in the air. Per Micah Parsons, Jerry Jones told the fan on, what's today? Wednesday.
Yesterday.
He told the fan on Tuesday. Yeah, I'm losing track of my days. Whew, bye to the bye. That
They do practice today.
They do practice today. Today is Wednesday. Let me get my stuff together. Josh threw me off with the whole Tolkien disrespect, so that's different.
No. I'm cool with Tolkien. My bad.
Okay.
I thought we were talking to you.
All right. So today being Wednesday,
Same show.
Mike McCarthy will talk at 11:30. We'll see if he gives any updates on injuries. I don't think that he will because he himself said on Monday that he's waiting effective today, Wednesday, to start seeing what Deron Bland, Micah Parsons can do. Spoke with Micah Parsons, as I mentioned, on Monday. He said it's up in the air. Jerry Jones on Tuesday to 105.3 The Fan said that Micah and Deron are both game time decisions. I saw a tweet from our good friend Clarence Hill on yesterday saying that per an employee in the building, Micah Parsons was limping. On yesterday, I didn't see Micah yesterday. We did see Micah on Monday. Wasn't limping.
There wasn't a limp on Monday.
Wasn't a limp on Monday.
I didn't see anything yesterday.
And I'll also say that
that employee was not us.
not us. To that point, on Thursday, was it Thursday? I believe it was Thursday. I went to the Texas State Fair. Shout out to the Texas State Fair. I went to the Texas State Fair. I did not cheat. Like you do. Oh. Because you cheat. Accusations and allegations.
You admitted to it.
It wasn't cheating.
I'm walking around Texas State Fair, and who do I see but Micah Parsons? Right? So Micah Parsons with his family, walking around carrying his daughter, okay? There was no noticeable limp. Now, I compare that to the Micah I saw earlier in that week when he came out to the practice field to do his sideline rehab, and there was a noticeable limp. So I say that to say, whomever told Clarence Hill,
which one is it?
Yeah, that there was
is he limping?
Out your sources, Clarence.
Yeah,
we're playing 3D chess here because the Niners are looking at the injury report. They're looking at at Twitter.
Hands.
They're like, oh yeah, rubbing the
their Birdman hand rope. I'm telling you,
they're looking at X for all footage of Michael at the State Fair.
Mine eyes. What are the odds though? So I'm walking around the Texas State Fair, and literally I'm about to get a turkey leg, and I look to the right, and here comes Micah Parsons with several of his family members holding his daughter, and
super dad.
Right, super dad. And so the first thing that popped in my head was like, man, this guy is such a real dude, because I love just the dad.
Did you go talk to him?
No, because you're with your people.
With your
That's
respect.
I will see him at work. He's with his people.
I'll see you later.
Right.
Yeah, Kyle hates that, man, when people come up to him while he's with his family.
Now, of course, right after I acknowledged mentally.
If you're a fan of Talkin Cowboys, you can come up to me anytime. Anytime.
Same.
Unless I have 3 kids.
Anytime.
And we have fans that do, and I love that to death.
Kyle's one of those like, who are you? You know what I mean?
You see 3 kids in my arms.
Yeah.
It's not what
Bless his heart. Bless his heart. But I didn't see Micah limping on Thursday. We didn't see Micah limping on Monday in the locker room. That's not to say that he's not still dealing with the high ankle sprain, but as far as it being noticeable, I didn't notice it. So we'll see what he looks like today in practice. So those are the two.
So there must have been a legitimate setback with DaRon Bland, because last week it was pretty emphatic. He's working in the right direction.
I don't have
he's
to
playing.
Eat my Mac.
He's going that way. He's doing all these different things, and then all of a sudden, it's like, oh nope, he's actually not going to play. As of Saturday morning, they were like, oh, he suffered a setback in soreness. That's what Stephen Jones said.
That's exactly what it was.
So
soreness.
It must have been a significant setback. If they've activated his 21-day window, which is continuing to count at this point.
October 30th, I believe, is going to be the deadline.
Which would be
Wednesday.
Next week.
Thursday. No, Wednesday.
So he could not play in this game, and it's fine. It's the next game he's got to play.
Correct.
He's got to play.
I don't know that I would use the word significant setback if we're just talking about soreness. I think it.
But he went from playing to questionable a week, 2 weeks later.
Let's look at
the
actual arc of it, right? So the actual arc of it was when he was activated, when his practice window was activated. Mike McCarthy was firm in saying,
"Oh yeah,
I need to see him practice. We're taking this day by day,
full speed, right?"
No, well, yeah, first, but it wasn't until Jerry got on the fan.
Oh yeah.
No, Stephen
and Jerry. Because they both said it.
Initially,
yeah.
Jerry was in lockstep with Mike and saying, we don't know. It's kind of a long shot. Then Stephen spoke with the fan and was like, oh yeah, it's likely a go.
Well, and Stephen spoke with Nick Eatman about it.
And then Jerry, in his 105.3 The Fan interview days later, Friday morning, he was in lockstep with then Stephen. But then Mike... not in the press conference, but in the conference call, Mike said it's day to day.
Love the fact that everybody's on the same page here.
So Mike said it's day to day. So if you look at the arc of it, McCarthy initially told you that he was unlikely to play. He wanted to see him practice. It didn't spike until Steven said what he said.
Yeah,
and that injected a ton of optimism into the fan base. But I was still sitting here like, I don't know. But the soreness, I wouldn't say it's significant. I think it goes to the conversation of if there was any soreness at all with a bye week coming up, why risk it?
Okay. And I want to ensure that people understand that do not look at this training staff sideways when you guys are hearing all this up and down.
No.
The executives going back and forth. Understand that Jim and Britt and the whole team over there do a heck of a job in terms of rehabbing, right?
Yeah,
but understand, as much time as I've spent with Britt, unfortunately, over there on the bands, right? Working the bands on the sideline. And then you go over there with the strength coach, with Coach H, and you go over there, you do your routes and your back pedals and all the stuff, position-specific drills. Nothing Nothing can recreate what you're going to do when you're out there doing live bullets. There's just nothing. I mean, you can be as prepared, as strong, as conditioned as you want to be. You look good. They can, you can do all the testing, but until you get out there, and that's why I'm pretty sure Coach McCarthy was hesitant to be like, "Hey, let's go." Yeah. Until you get out there and you're going full speed and you're reacting and you're playing full speed, you cannot recreate that in rehab. You just can't. I don't care how great of a rehab team you have. You can't recreate that, which is why there's always going to be a little bit speculation until you get out there and run drills full speed. So that's why when you get out there and practice and you say, all right, the gloves are off, the red jersey's off, let's go. Now all of a sudden, that's when you start saying, oh, it flared up a little bit, right? Okay, we didn't see that in rehab. Even though we stressed the crap out of it, we didn't see that response. Yeah. So now let's let that calm down and let's let your body adjust to growing full speed.
So even if there's a little miscommunication between the front office in terms of coach, front office, and the way they communicate the injury to the media, there's not going to be a disconnect in terms of the training staff and the player.
No,
that's not the case.
And to your point, even further, obviously it seemed like it was a setback that it basically just turned the brakes on it. It's
that's
like
all it was.
Let's not.
It wasn't a slam on the brakes. It was like a little press.
Let's not even risk it.
We're stopping at a stoplight brakes.
Let's get to the bye week. Let's see how he responds to this afterwards, and more full practices hopefully this week, and see if he can be ready for San Francisco.
But it may have been one of those yellow lights that you're driving to work at, and instead of speeding right through it and getting in possibly some trouble, you just take it cautiously.
Kyle, I always slow down when I see yellow.
For every yellow light. Every single yellow light.
I turn my yellows into reds.
Yeah.
I didn't know this was talking liars.
Safety first, Kyle.
Talking liars is what it is. This is what this show has become now.
However, if you ever see me self-incriminate,
as a fan, have your antennas up though, because there will be a tremendous impact on getting 2 Pro Bowlers back out of 11 guys on defense. It will be a tremendous impact. What were your antennas? So be cautious until it happens, but when it happens, expect good things regardless of whatever system that they're running.
Well, think about the starters that could return this week. I should say. Potential return. Deron Bland, Micah Parsons, Eric Kendricks, Tyler Guyton, Kalen Carson. And then, am I missing anybody out of that
group? Defensive names,
that's
man.
Full, except for Guyton.
Yeah.
You're good because everyone else is IR.
Everybody
Brandon
else
Cooks is IR.
IR, DR. D-All. Yeah. So the fact that you could get those starters back this week is significant, especially going into a matchup where San Francisco is really banged up.
They're on the ropes.
I kind of feel bad for them.
Don't because they don't feel bad.
I don't feel bad for what may happen this weekend, but I feel bad for the situation there. I feel bad for the Cowboys. I feel bad for the Cowboys losing. They're too deep at defensive end. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, I feel bad for this team.
It sucks because the front office, there's nothing you can do to prepare yourself for that.
No. Here's the San Francisco.
Always want teams to be at full strength when I play them because I don't want any excuses. I am that super competitor guy. That being said, if you are missing some guys, you're not getting sympathy from me.
No sympathy. It's just from the front office perspective, right? It just sucks because you cannot prepare. Like San Fran, you can't prepare for your first round pick to get shot. And then your big contract to get him as well. His ACL taken out. Like you can't predict that stuff.
Yeah, shouts out to him as well because he's
back out there.
Yeah, he's
back a beast.
That's insanity.
Here's the injury list for the 49ers right now. Christian McCaffrey, Achilles. Brandon Ayuk, knee. Deebo Samuel, hospitalized due to pneumonia symptoms, which that's wild, and hopefully he's okay from that. George Kittle, foot. Hufanga on the defensive side, wrist injury. Drake Greenlaw, Achilles injury. Jake Moody, the kicker, ankle injury. Juwan Jennings, hip. Javon Hargrave, triceps, and that's not even it.
Nope.
It could.
You didn't say
Ayuk.
I did say Ayuk.
Use it?
Yeah.
You did?
Oh, say Kittle already?
I said Kittle foot. Yeah, but then you go check. Playmaker.
They're in a worse position than Dallas is in.
I would agree with that. In terms of injuries,
yeah, they could still win this game.
Absolutely, they can.
Which is why I don't feel it's facts though. It's facts though because we've seen the Cowboys go up against teams that have been super banged up, and you're thinking to yourself, oh, well, this should be
finally
easier.
Got a chance.
Yeah, this should be easier. This should be easy. And then they walk right into a buzzsaw, and so
you can't do that against a team that's been owning you.
You can't. But human nature dictates that when you start to see the names on that list, that there is at least a possibility for those that are not emotionally disciplined enough, that are not mentally
a little bit.
Right, come off and be like, oh, well, I don't have to floor it around, turn one. right? Because,
We're going Formula One here.
Yeah, we're going Formula One,
like
right?
You're talking his language now.
Verstappen is sick today. He's out today. So this race is going to be easier. No, it's still not. You need to drive it.
Never.
Still got Charles
the race
Leclerc.
should always be with
Got
yourself.
Lando Norris.
Right? The race should always be with yourself.
Checo Perez.
Not who else is in the other cars anyway. So whether McCaffrey's on
Lewis
the field
Hamilton.
or not. Keep going.
I'm just going
You
to. I can name the whole thing. I'm not going to.
Whether McCaffrey's on the field or not, whether Ayuk is on the field or not, whether Juwan Jennings is on the field or not, it doesn't matter. Run your race. You need to go out there and act like every single one of those All-Pros is on the field and Pro Bowlers are on the field. Otherwise, you risk losing a game you cannot afford to lose, and against a team that has absolutely owned you.
I'm fired up. Let's clip it. Let's send it across the hall. That's what Mike McCarthy's message to the team is. Just going to be Patrik Walker.
Do it now.
Don't FAFO.
And he has the ring of power on.
Don't FAFO. King stuff.
What is FAFO?
We'll talk about it in the break.
Blank around and find out.
Okay.
And when we come back.
When we come back here on Talking Cowboys, it's time for a little bit of lab coat. We're going into the classroom to learn from Patrik Walker. Pat, what we got today?
We're going with the magic number 11. The magic number is 11, and we'll break down in the next segment what that 11 means for the Cowboys.
Right after this.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company. This portion of the show is brought to you by Quaker Oats, the official oatmeal sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Quaker Oats, trusted since 1877. Is the Quaker code still a thing, Beamer? We still doing
It's up now.
It is. It is up now. The Quaker code. There it is. Bang. Right next to Isaiah.
Buy oats on the internet.
Get your oats on the internet. All right, Patrik Walker, it's time for some lab coat.
Beamer.
Did you do push-ups before
Science!
I actually do push-ups and planks every morning.
How many push-ups
gets
do you
the
do?
blood flowing.
I was thinking about doing a challenge with you
I
guys.
do one push-up every morning. I do the orange one.
When you push
know
up
what I
off
mean?
the bed to get up.
That's what I was thinking you were going to say. That's the push-up I do.
You just set
No, I do the
yourself up
orange
on
one.
that.
You know what I mean? Like the Flintstones. Was that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
No, man.
Oh.
But that's classic, though. You got to know to know. You know the push-ups.
Yeah, I was going to hand out a challenge for us. I don't know if Beamer get on board.
challenge?
We're talking ice cream.
No, we'll come back to it. I was going to say we could do 250 push-ups, 250 sit-ups a day for a week. Let's see if we can do it.
That's a lot of push-ups.
See, that's just that NFL player over here
Let's do
issuing
it.
challenges
From the knees.
From the knees.
Knee
oh,
push-ups.
Yeah. What is
Let's
that?
do it. Okay.
What is that?
What is that?
Done.
Knee push-ups?
Done. Come on, Kyle.
Come
Bring
on,
it in for the
man.
real thing.
Come on now.
Come on, Newhouse.
All right.
There we go.
So, lab coat, I heard people bring me in. Appreciate that. Yeah, science. We're going with the magic number today of 11. 11, 11, 11. Let's start in 2 parts. Let's start with CeeDee Lamb. I spoke a lot about in biology and then yesterday's episode how I feel like I need to see more from CeeDee Lamb. And again, to qualify that, I'm not speaking specifically or solely about CeeDee Lamb, although that's inclusive of it. I'm also talking about Schottenheimer and McCarthy's ability to move him around, scheme him open against these coverages, things like that. Bottom line is the Cowboys need more games or 4 quarters of dominant play from their him, because CeeDee Lamb is the him on this offense, okay? Now, a little bit of optimism because there's a lot of pessimism that we can rightfully speak on when you're 3-3 and you're 0-3 at home, and those 3 losses have been embarrassing.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb has been disjointed with Dak Prescott. All of these things are true, okay? But there's something about CeeDee Lamb after the bye week. There's something special about that guy after the bye week. So last season, through the first 6 games, we talked about it, the production is similar. Go back and look at yesterday's episode. Yep. Production is similar, but the efficiency is way down. Okay? He's targeted way more to get the same production numbers that he did last year. But after the bye, last season, 139 targets, 101 yards, just under 1,300 receiving yards, and 11 touchdowns. He had just 1 touchdown going into the bye last week. He had 11 coming out of it. So over the remaining 11 games of the regular season last year, he had 11 touchdowns, okay? Seems like CeeDee Lamb cooks up after the bye. Will that hold true? Hopefully so. Seems to be a theme with him. Now, keeping with the number 11, because I want to talk about this other point as well, do you think the Cowboys have an issue moving the ball, or do you think the Cowboys have an issue scoring the ball?
Scoring
the ball. You would be absolutely correct.
Red zone struggles yet again.
Red zone struggles. And here's where it is. Number 11. The Cowboys have 11 drives of 10 plays or more this season. How many touchdowns do you think they have on those drives?
How many drives again?
11 drives
3.
of 10 or more plays.
2.
I'll give you 2.
Yeah, I'd probably say I'd say 4.
Closer. 5. Not great, not good, not terrible. A little less than 50%.
As you're putting together drives like that, you should be at least 70%.
Louder for the people
If
in
you
the back.
should, if you're putting together
if you
that,
are consistently stringing together 10-plus play drives, you should have more than 5 touchdowns off of those. They have 11 of those types of drives, and they're scoring the ball touchdown-wise because Brandon Aubrey is doing what he's doing. So field goals, I'm pulling that out of the equation because you shouldn't be playing for field goals, especially on drives with 10 or more plays involved. You should be scoring the football in the end zone. They score in the end zone on 10-plus play drives less than 50% of the time, and they have 11 of them. So if the Cowboys can, that just goes to the fact of what we've been talking about. If the Cowboys can establish themselves in the red zone, or better still, 30 yards, and from the opponent's 30 to the end zone, because it's not just a red zone issue. It seems like the brick wall is at the 30, not the 20. It worsens as you get closer. Cowboys need to figure it out. So the magic number today is 11-1. Both of them are offensive related. CeeDee Lamb coming out of the bye when he has 11 games left. Last season, 11 touchdowns. Keeping to the offense, they've now had 11 drives of 10 or more plays, but they score touchdowns on less than half of them. That's not delicious. The first 11 is CeeDee, go cook up. The next 11 is not. Cowboys, you are extending plays, extending drives. That's wonderful. And then what? Stop giving the ball away. Stop finding ways to shoot yourself in the foot. Stop getting drive-killing penalties, holdings, and things like that.
Exactly that.
Right? False starts, and just clean it up. So that shows the Cowboys can be a better team, and that's what should give you some optimism, because these are fixable issues. So just fix them.
Fix them, man.
Fix it, Felix.
Exercise those demons, my friend.
Yeah, all the push-ups.
Now, how do you fix it, though?
Well, first of all, it starts with doing away with the self-inflicted wounds, right? So the discipline part of it comes into play, okay? From the discipline part, you can then say, okay, well, we're not getting behind the chains after we get a 9-10 play drive, and all of a sudden it's holding on Tyler Guyton or Zach Martin or Tyler Smith or Terrence Steele, because BB hasn't really been a holding guy. But those other 4 guys, you get a holding penalty, and now you're back. Okay, and now when the psychology of it is, if you're a team, and I know Isaiah can attest to this, when you're a team that's already struggling in a particular thing, All right. And then you get into that particular space and you have a setback. There's always this danger of, oh, here we go again. And now you're already self-defeating. Okay. So clean up the penalties, stop getting behind the chain, stop doing all of that thing. Those things. The next thing is you need the communication between Dak and CD to get where it needs to get. Because some of those giveaways by Dak Prescott, those interceptions, who was the target?
CD.
Yeah.
Get on the same page. I've seen a giveaway here or there because it was a miscommunication on the route. Dak thought it would be a hitch to the outside. He threw it to the spot. Easy money in Pittsburgh. I've seen him where Dak himself said he didn't look the safety off enough on the deep crosser, so he throws it. Brian Branch gets his first interception of that, first of 2 interceptions in that game.
Yeah.
Miscommunication.
Do you guys
fixable? So fix it.
In terms of fixing the red zone, do you guys feel that the running game will have a greater effect on the conversion in the red zone, or you guys think the passing game will have a greater effect on the conversion in the red zone? Which, if you had to pick which one to be more efficient in, which one would you pick in terms of solving the red zone issues?
I would pick the running game, at least in the red zone, because I feel like if that threat is no longer there, I mean, it wasn't there necessarily last year, but the year before it was, when Zeke was running the ball up the middle in the red zone, and you could trust him to get that touchdown. At this point, it is definitely not there. I think another aspect of that is when you do have a really solid run, it is often called back for holding. I feel like that bites us in the butt every single time. It's about the execution and the spotlight that I think certain players have on them, especially Tyler Guyton now with obviously calling out the refs at one point this season. I don't know if that's necessarily
he's a marked man.
I don't know if he's a marked man necessarily, but I think the spotlight is constantly on us, especially whenever it is a really good run and you're like,
are they whispering about him before the game starts?
You can almost guarantee that run is getting called back. Any solid, like, oh wow, look at that run.
You start looking for the yellow,
and you're like, wait a second, all right. To me, it's the run.
Extra large agree. In Josh's words, extra large agree because you can't. If you establish the run in the red zone, now you can play off of the run.
Sure.
And here's Isaiah's favorite word.
That's in general.
Play action.
Mm-hmm. I love play action.
If they are worried that your efficient run game can be a factor in the end zone or the red zone, they have to defend against that. And when they do, then you get more of the playbook opened up. Okay, in the passing game. So one thing complements the other.
I don't think there's a wrong answer here. But I'm also looking at the fact that there are 6 receiving touchdowns to wide receivers right now. There are 2 receiving touchdowns to running backs currently. You know how many tight ends have a touchdown right now? You know how many touchdowns a tight end has caught this season? Absolutely 0.
Yeah, Ferguson's been quiet, man.
Quiet. So,
but why has he been quiet?
Both have not had the success. The passing game and the rushing game.
Nope.
Neither one has been there. They've both been dormant.
It's because we have that bet. We have the tight end touchdown bet.
What is that one?
You don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
I think it was if Brevin Spanford scores a touchdown, he has to wear a full
Jake was
Cowboys uniform.
That was for one game.
Yeah, that's for one.
He's saying established.
Now
that
it's
wasn't for like a whole season.
Because nobody's scoring.
Yeah, because no one's going to score a touchdown apparently. But I want to see more from the passing game in the red zone because a lot of the mistakes have been centered around the passing game in the red zone, and the lack of production in the red zone from the passing game is significant as well. I agree with you completely. I think the rushing attack in general, whether they're at the 50-yard line, the opponent's 20-yard line, your own 20-yard line, I don't care. I need more rushing attack, period. But in terms of the red zone, I think I would rather see more passing attack coming up.
I'm a running guy. I want to run. I want to run the ball, and there's no reason why you should not be able to run the ball with this offensive line. You have 3 first-round picks on the offensive line. You have Cooper Beebe, who we haven't said his name. That's a good thing.
Done everything.
That's a good thing. We haven't had to talk about Cooper Beebe. He's doing his job. Right, he's doing his job. Nobody sat here and talked about he's missing blocks, missing assignments, giving up sacks.
He's not a holding.
Yeah, he's not hurting you with penalties. So he's doing his job effectively. And this offensive line is not dominating. So to me, that's more concerning because I would much rather see my guys come off the line of scrimmage and say, hey, we're running this thing, and make these guys come in here and load the box up. I don't care who we have in the backfield because it doesn't matter. All the running backs that are in the backfield right now are serviceable. right? Meaning if they have a hole, they're going to hit it. There's no guy that's so slow and so incapable that he can't pick up the yardage that you need. That's not the situation here with the Dallas Cowboys. You don't have guys who can create. And there's very few of those guys in this league right now that can create. So, with that being said, take the attention off the running back group and put it back on the offensive line. Are you creating the holes necessary? Are you moving the defense backwards?
No.
And no, the answer is no. But if you are able to move the defense backwards, you are now able to run the ball willingly. You're able to get creative in your running scheme.
Sure.
You're able to mix and match who is running the ball, right, based upon their abilities because of how they can attack the defense, whether you want to attack outside, whether you want to attack inside, whether you want to run zone, whether you want to run some of the zone read stuff we saw some speed option stuff in training camp. There's a whole lot of things that we've seen that we have not gotten to this year yet. So the running game affects all of that. And then what happens? Now I'm so concerned about the run. Now I have to take the double team off of CD, and now Jalen Tolbert has a chance for jump balls, and now I can get Ferguson out on routes. Yeah. Because right now, Ferguson, you're attached to the doggone hip of either tackle right now because I don't trust the fact that we're going to be able to protect.
See, and that's my thing. I don't think there's trust up front in the offensive line right now. And I don't know if they've earned it either.
Agreed.
Because we just talked about Cooper Beebe. He's been serviceable. Zach Martin has been serviceable to bad at times. Yeah. Terrence Steele has been serviceable to bad at times. Same thing on the opposite side. Probably more so bad for Tyler Guyton than serviceable. Tyler Smith is the only one up front that I would say has been good this year. That's a problem across the board, and I don't think they can move a defense back. I don't think they can do that this year because we haven't seen it over and over and over again. It's not like they haven't tried to run the football in the red zone.
You don't think the bye week's going to change that?
Well,
At the high pitch.
I don't know, Jim. I don't know, Jim. I don't.
It's a mentality.
I think that mentality will be great in 2025 for this offensive line because they're just not there.
But then you got to plug.
They're not there. I don't have faith in this offensive line.
At that point,
I don't.
Just when you get into the red zone, just give me 13 personnel. You know what I mean? Like as soon as you get there, just run the dang ball with as much blocking as you possibly can.
So here's a question.
That's how you get the tight ends.
I have faith. I have faith that this offensive line can turn it around because there's not an inability on the offensive line. There's not one spot that you point at and say, you know what? I sure wish we had somebody else.
Right. No.
You know what I'm saying? No. Like you have your guys.
I love the
you
five.
have your guys up there. So you put Cooper Beebe in there for what reason?
I love the 5.
I like it. I don't love the 5. I like the 5.
I like the 5, but I'm there with you.
Yeah, so
I like the 5. I don't love it.
Like Tyler let's go from left to right. Tyler Guyton. He just needs confidence. Pure confidence.
Young guy,
inexperienced.
He'll be fine later on.
Yeah, but again, I go back to week 1. You took care of business week 1. That is the best the league has to offer.
Correct.
You have that.
A lot of that was scheme.
So I hear you, but he held his own. Right? He held his own. He gave up a strip. I'm not even going to call it a sack. He gave up a strip.
Right.
Salty. It's a pregame live reference.
So give him the confidence. Say, hey, bro, you took care of the best that this league can throw at you. Go out there and handle everybody else. Stop giving up pass rushes on the inside. They have to come through you, right? Attach at the hip. Put a band around him and freaking Tyler Smith and make him do drills all day long and trust that symmetry, right? So give him confidence. He can play. All right, Tyler Smith, we know T. Smith can play.
Check.
Right? Cooper Beebe. Cooper Beebe's he's doggone snuffleupagus in there, okay? He can go out there and move guys off the ball too. Give him the confidence, right? Get him a little angry. I know he likes to smile and all that jazz. Get him a little bit, a little angry.
And he's still young and inexperienced too. Like
find out what his hot button is. Find out what his hot button is and get him going. Zach Martin, just gotta get the motor going. Get the motor going. We know what the game plan is going forward for you. But this year, we need you to go out there and be who you can be, not in the Army, but for the Dallas Cowboys. And then Terrence Steele, just do you, bro. Just do you, dog. Just do what you do, and don't give up sacks. You've been doing it
bad.
He hasn't been great. We got to get that fire back. And again, the offensive line is a chemistry thing, and it's an attitude. These guys are capable. I just want to see it happen.
They need some of that Trent Williams mentality. Just a nasty dude.
That's borderline dirty though. That's why I'm like. Nasty, yes. Dirty, no. And Trent
you punch me in my head.
Yeah, we need to take our second break.
We need to take the second break. I'll ask this on the other side of the break.
But we got to preview defense. We haven't done anything on the defense so far.
I'll ask tomorrow. Because you mentioned scheme and O-line. I have a question about scheme and O-line. Make a note for a rundown.
I'll make a note.
Because I'll forget.
I'll make a note. So let's come back after the break. We're going to talk defensive preview against San Francisco. We haven't done that at all today. Got on a tangent on the lab coat, as always. We love it. When we come back with more, Talking Cowboys right after this.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
And we're going to overtime.
Erica, how much have I spent on concessions?
For questions about their money, Dallas Cowboys fans can turn to Erica, the virtual financial assistant in the Bank of America mobile banking app. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/Erica by your side. Bank of America, official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Erica responses may vary. Digital tools featured require downloading the mobile banking app and may only be available on select mobile devices. Erica is a mobile feature only available in the English language. Your chat may be recorded and monitored for quality assurance. Message and data rates and additional terms may apply. Bank of America, N.A., member FDIC.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Back here on Talkin Cowboys, this portion of the show is brought to you by Invisalign, the official smile of the Dallas Cowboys. Glad you're back with us. Isaiah Stanback, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Chris Beam in the back. I'm Kyle Youmans. Josh, I'll start with you. Number one matchup you're looking forward to, Dallas defense versus the San Francisco offense.
Mike Zimmer versus Kyle Shanahan, baby.
Pretty all-encompassing.
It's why. But I'll give you this. I'll give you this little statistic here, man.
But wait.
Mike Zimmer is 4-2 against Kyle Shanahan.
Interesting.
Right? And Kyle Shanahan has he's a trendy guy. Not only in look, I mean, he's a good-looking guy. But if you look at his trends...
Just a side note.
Just a side note. It's
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Kyle Shanahan, he's a trendy guy. If you looked at Steve Spagnuolo going up against the Kansas City Chiefs last week, 1-9 against Steve Spagnuolo. He tends to follow these trends throughout his career, hoping that continues with Mike Zimmer. I'm concernicus about Jordan Mason. Granted, he had his Disney movie at the very beginning of the season. He was, taking over for Christian McCaffrey. He ran for 140 plus yards. He looked great, but he hasn't been able to replicate the production of a Christian McCaffrey quite yet. I mean, who could, right? But since week 1, Mason has 2 touchdowns and 2 fumbles. Interesting.
Not
stats.
a great ratio.
He'll give up the church's money, will he?
He did have a bell cow game against the Patriots, 24 rushes for 123 yards, very respectable. One thing that I'm very concerned about, and this is as far as matchups go, this for me is linebackers versus Jordan Mason and the 49ers rushing attack. 3.7 yards after contact for Jordan Mason. Not anything to write home about necessarily.
Shoot.
But the Dallas Cowboys...
Turn on the film.
do not do well at yards after contact.
Yeah.
This to me is very, very, very concerning,
Missed
boys.
tackles, baby.
I got, missed tackles big time, at least for me, for Jordan Mason. So linebackers, whoever's in there. I mean, Eric Hendricks, hopefully.
Maybe
But
Damone Clark.
You got Marist, you got Damone Clark. So let's see how it turns out.
I'm having flashbacks of Alvin Kamara and the Saints.
Just wrap them up, baby. No more shoulder tackles.
Missed tackles.
Don't shoulder tackle. I'm done with the Xavier Woods form of tackling, man. Don't just shoulder a guy.
I like it. I like it.
Shots fired. Sorry.
What are you looking forward to most, Zay?
I am looking forward to seeing specifically Terrence Steele versus Bosa. I think Nick, he's nice. Obviously, he hasn't necessarily piled up the sacks. He only has 3.5 sacks this year, but he is. I think he's third in the league in terms of pressures. I think that's where he's at. No, where am I at? Let me get my stats up right. Yeah, actually, he leads the league in pressures. So that's awesome.
Nice.
So yeah, he's a dude
That's
out
fun.
there. Yeah, he's really fun.
Love that.
He's up there.
Don't pfeffle.
Yeah, that's not what you want. But yeah, so he leads the league in pressures, but he's third on the sack list. In terms of 3.5 sacks on a year, so he's not killing in that department, but he will put pressure on your guys. So somebody you want to keep an eye on. Okay, he can be a game wrecker, even though they're missing some of their main dogs defensively on the interior. Obviously, he can still present a lot of problems for you. And we talk about this passing game and trying to get it going. That's not who you want to drop the ball on. In terms of forgetting what he's capable of doing, just because he's not lighting up the stat sheet on the sack side of things, he still affects his game tremendously. Do not let him get going.
I'm thinking back to the guys that the Cowboys have faced already this season. Right? They faced
TJ
Myles Garrett, week 1. He had a sack. New Orleans Saints, Cam Jordan. Week 2, did he have a sack in that game?
Was Miles really a sack? Okay.
It was a strip sack. Let's not get carried away. No,
fight that one.
It was definitely a sack.
My points back.
It wasn't really a sack.
It was definitely a strip sack. The ball was fumbled and the ball was down. It was a strip sack. Still counts on the thing. I'm sorry. T.J. Watt, he had multiple sacks in that matchup. Aiden Hutchinson had a sack prior to this injury. Every time you've gone up against a top-notch edge rusher, you've given up a sack. You've given up one throughout the season. So I kind of expect the same sort of thing with Nick Bosa this week, because even though the pressures are there, that means he's in the backfield. Without the sack total specifically, that just means he's due, in my opinion, for a couple of sacks and a couple finishes.
If you drop back, let me ask you this question, because a lot of people, I feel, would believe that you're having a successful day if you only give up one sack and you drop back 40 times.
Yeah.
Is that a successful day against Nick Bosa?
Against Nick Bosa? Yeah. Depending on the timing of the sack, but yeah.
It would. That time at the sack might hurt you a lot.
Depending on the timing of the sack.
Okay,
that's why I qualified it.
So a maybe. We'll give you a solid. Solid maybe.
40 dropbacks, you give up one sack. Did you do your job?
Need more info.
No,
because that's how.
You're not supposed to give up sacks.
I know, but listen, I want people to understand that's how offensive tackles are graded.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You could do your job great 39 times, but that one time you give it up, oh, you suck.
It's the nature of the position.
Put it in perspective for people.
Yeah. As long as that sack is in the first quarter and not on a potential game-winning drive. That's what we mean when we said timing matters.
You could go one. Shohei Ohtani could go 1 for 40 in this World Series.
The
New York Yankees. He hits a walk-off homer in the bottom of the seventh or bottom of the ninth inning in Game 7 against the Yankees to win it all.
You written that up?
That's all you'll remember.
That's all you remember.
That's all you remember. Yeah, I could have written it up better.
Yeah.
Texas again, back in it. Yeah. But what are you looking forward to, Pat? Best matchup this week.
I'm going to go with because now I do feel like DaRon Bland returns. Okay.
I got a feeling.
Gonna eat your Mac?
I feel
like
no, I'm not going there for. But I was right. But I do feel like with the added, the setback was not significant. It was just soreness. Cowboys played it safe. Coming off of a bye week, more time to rest, more time to get back to where he needs to get. Mm-hmm. So I think he plays. I say that to say it's Trayvon Diggs versus Brock Purdy. Because with DaRon Bland back on the field, assuming that happens, you can't throw away from Trayvon now. Okay, and in doing so, in testing Trayvon, I know for a fact Trayvon Diggs has over these past 2 weeks, all he's heard about is how poorly he played against the Lions. Mm-hmm. That's all he's heard. And it's the chip on his shoulder is going to be massive. Brock Purdy is not having a good season. Wasn't having a good season before Brandon Ayuk was lost for the season. He being Brock Purdy 9 touchdowns, but he has 7 interceptions.
Well, let me ask you this.
He's throwing the ball away.
Is Dak having a good season?
I would have said yes, before the Lions game. Lions game was very poor, so now he's having an average season.
Both Dak and Purdy's statistics are eerily similar.
Yeah, so an average season.
Eerily similar. They both have a 63% completion percentage. Purdy has thrown more yards, but the yards per average, touchdowns, interceptions, the number of times they've been sacked, it's all
and it's same. So it
by
goes to the
one or
pressures
two.
as well.
Like it's pretty.
I'm not saying Purdy's a $60 million quarterback.
He will be.
Yeah,
he will be.
He will be paid more than Dak Prescott.
I doesn't look happy about that at all.
I think that this is a game where figure out how to get pressure on him, because that offensive line outside of Trent Williams, you got Dominique Punat. Outside of Trent Williams, there are pressures that can be had on Brock Purdy. That's why he's been sacked 13 times.
Yes.
Pressured a hell of a lot more. 7 interceptions to only 9 touchdowns. That interception
now
to touchdown
he could
ratio.
be without Debo,
and
Ayuk,
now he's without
Juwan Jennings, and George Kittle this weekend.
And McCaffrey as well. So he's without.
That's true. But he's
possibly
still
without his
pass
5
catchers.
top pass catching targets.
He's still number 3 in the league in passing.
No, I get that.
Yeah, but they weren't that banged up until like the last 2 weeks.
He's pressing. Go watch the film. He's pressing.
I'm watching it.
The youth is
Where's
starting
Dak
to show.
on that list?
It's the schemes, and we'll get to that, right?
Yeah.
This is schemes.
He's pressing.
They're predictable schemes.
He's only thrown 140 yards more than Dak.
I hear you.
Purdy is pressing, so that lends to
and they've played
the
one more
likelihood
game
of him giving you an opportunity or 3 to take that ball away in the air. And I think Trayvon Diggs gets an interception against Purdy.
You want to make a bold call?
Do it.
You want to make a statement here?
Trayvon Diggs gets an interception against Brock Purdy.
Does he take it to the house?
If he doesn't, then
he's not a pick sixer.
Okay.
He's not a pick
He's
sixer.
had some.
He's had some. He's not Duran when it comes to that.
Say it louder so he can hear you.
Duran is the pick six king. Trayvon, I didn't say that, but if that's what you heard and it makes you mad enough to go do it,
You're trying to rile people up.
Yeah, stop it. Day one, Diggs.
They do listen across the hall. I know that.
Diggs absolutely. Diggs is the interception king on this team, and Duran is the pick six king. Does that mean that Duran can't outdo Diggs in interception numbers? No, don't say that. I'm not saying that. Does that mean that Trayvon can't run it back
So a pick,
couple
not
times?
6.
Yeah.
Pick, not the 6.
Pick with a chunk yardage after.
So if you needed a pick 6, who you want to get the
All
interception?
right.
Pick not 6.
Trayvon Diggs, pick 6, fourth quarter with the Cowboys needing it most. He comes up with it. They need
It's gonna be that kind of game.
Hopefully not.
You're playing on both sides of the fence
He's
today.
on the fence.
What the heck, man?
No, I can have a prediction and a hope. You know what I mean? All right. So y'all want it with the full chest.
That's right.
The full chest. All right. No, because then it's going to lead to prediction. I don't want to give score prediction yet. That's Friday.
Okay, that's fine.
So
Deemer, he's back.
The
He's
singular
backpedaling,
prediction.
Deemer.
Singular prediction is Trayvon Diggs, which was my initial prediction. Trayvon Diggs gets an interception against Brock Purdy in this game. The follow-up is it a pick 6? Yeah, it's a pick 6.
I love pressing Patrick for predictions because he's so calculated and everything. So I love like whenever we get a chance to just try and see how far we can make this happen.
Pick 6 against Brock Purdy. Trayvon's first pick 6 since suffering the torn ACL. It's going to happen. That's my prediction.
I hope he's right.
It's like Inside Out. It's like somebody in his head pulling out 8 tracks and just putting them in.
No, have you seen Inside Out 2?
Yes.
So I have the calculation and I have the prediction, right?
And then there's anxiety.
And here's Kyle. Anxiety. I was going to get Kyle anxiety. He runs out. He just starts slapping and moving levels on the board and everything.
That's
And
exactly what I
everything
saw.
starts going crazy.
I love it. Hey, if it ends up happening, we're gonna have one hell of a time on Monday
go.
clipping that
Let's
and
go
making sure
7.
that it's back in the fold.
7 for 6.
There you go. I love it. That's going to do it for us here on Talking Cowboys today. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll have some QB vision. We'll break down the Cowboys offense against that San Francisco defense. Not as banged up as their offense, but still missing some key pieces on the defensive side of the ball. For Patrik Walker, for Isaiah Stanback, Josh Rodriguez, Chris Beam in the back, I'm Kyle Youmans saying so long from Talking Cowboys. We will see you tomorrow.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!